Welcome to day 13 of the Daily Doodle December Challenge. Before we get started doing our actual doodle today, let's pause for 3 deep breaths together. Eyes closed or gaze softened, hands in your lap or one on the heart and one on the belly. And we'll breathe in deeply through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth with a sigh. Letting go. And again, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Releasing any tension in the body. One final time together. In through the nose, out through the mouth, releasing any busy thoughts or worries so that your mind can be quiet and we can be focused fully on our doodle. So today we're going to do a little circle followed by a bigger circle and a bigger circle still. We're going to do that a few times. They don't have to be perfect circles. They don't have to be equidistant. And now we're going to continue with a series of 3 circle or circular-ish shapes to fill in the space. And so sometimes they'll go off the page. Sometimes they'll tuck in behind an existing one. And it'll be more interesting if their sizes and shapes vary somewhat. So this one I'm going to have just be like a half circle. It's very clearly off the page. There we go. Some of them might be small. I think that's good. And then we're going to color in black in between these shapes. Checking in with your body, making sure that it stays relaxed. You can share in the comments if you have pets. And if you do they like being close to you all the time? I ask because I do. And yes, one in particular really likes being close. So now we're going to add kind of spokes to the center circle in each. And this generally works out better if we kind of go straight across, then across the other way, and then in between. I tried doing this in a less structured way on a sample, and it wasn't any easier to do, and it certainly didn't turn out even at all. And when it comes time to color shortly, it's helpful if there's an even number of sections. Now this one I'm not going to try to come in with additional strokes. I'll just do the 4 instead of the 8 because it's so small. I'm not going to worry if the lines go into the center because actually in the end I'm going to come back. Maybe I'll just do it now. I'm going to color these centers black. So actually really we could just go straight through now that I think about it like this. We're going to color them anyway. All kinds of different ways to get to the same end result, isn't there? Okay, and now for today, I'm going to be adding color in shades of purple and silver, some regular markers, some gel pens. You could leave yours just like this. You could add, say, dots around there in black. This is if you were just going to leave it black and white. But I like to add color. So I'm going to do the outside ring in a variety of shades. Some sparkly, some regular. It's my hope that by sharing with you my creation process in real time and letting you watch the reality of me playing on an art journal page, that it will help you relax and release perfectionism. I know that I quite like watching videos, say quick videos on Instagram where someone showcases in fast forward, probably silent or with some music, them creating a doodled page. But I find, as much as I love it, it's also a bit like watching or looking at photoshopped pictures of people who are too perfect, makeup perfect, nails perfect, and it creates pressure to try to look like that. And my pages, I love them, but they are often wonky and quite possibly, wouldn't be featured in a magazine necessarily. But they're realistic. I'm keeping it real. This is what it really looks like inside a real journal. Where experimentation and play and a focus on process instead of outcome are the key goals for me. Of course, as someone who teaches Yoga Nidra, a form of meditation, and practice myself regularly, pretty much every day, I really highly value stress relief. So it is absolutely key that my time spent art journaling is relaxing and not stressful. So now I'm going to come in with my silver and do every other section inside these spokes with silver. Now, this is not to say that it can't be relaxing for some people to do skill-based art. It's just not for me. So if I try to draw something realistic and I have my heart set on it looking a certain way, it just creates pressure that I don't want in my leisure time. I did a YouTube video where I talked about the two different kinds of art as I see it, the skill-based kind and the relaxation kind, and asked viewers to weigh in on which they preferred. And one person answered that she likes both and finds both relaxing. So we're all different, and I think that that is an important point, that just because I find skill-based art stressful doesn't mean everyone does. Okay, I'm going to set my silver aside for now, and I'm going to go back in with my regular markers and color. Now, it's interesting. I don't have a lot of light, so it's actually kind of hard for me to see which one had the silver. Here we go. But I'm going to go in and do alternating in a different color than what's on the outside. So I feel like these kind of look like wheels. So let's just call them little wheels. Just looking to get the purples somewhat randomly spread across the page. I'm going to switch to the other shade. Definitely need the fine tip for this. Oh, see, look. That's not what I would have chosen to put there. It's awfully close to what's on the outside. Oh, I've done it again. I thought this was my paler shade. Oops, and now I've just colored over a silver. Well, you know, again, this is how I think it's just, I hope that it's helpful for you to see how it is when I work for real in here and things sometimes don't unfold as I envision, but watch me roll with it. So I've switched to a gel pen here because the gel pen seems to be a paler shade. I'm just checking to see if I missed anywhere. Oh, down here. Now I'm going to go back in with my silver and do a little boop dot right in the center of each of the black, just to help it stand out. And the way I see it, the more sparkle, the better. Well, not always, but at this time of year especially. And now I'm going to go into these black areas and do some dots. First I'll do, it's a small dot, but it's not as small as it could be. Now I'm going to go back in and literally just, oh, this one's going to be a bit bigger. But in a lot of spots I'm just going to tap the tip of the pen down and make really tiny dots in the black. Make it a bit more festive. All right, so there you have it. That is today's doodle. Now I will color in my tracking star. Let's use pink today. And then I will show you my other samples. So this is the green and gold. And then this is the blue and silver on the larger page. So hopefully that gives you lots of ideas and inspiration for today. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.